Good evening, YouTube family. T.O. here, Simplistic Fishing, still in the office, still doing lake breakdowns. We're on the second video for Toledo Bend tonight. We're going to see what we can uncover. Hey, if you haven't gone out and checked out our site, simplisticfishing.com, please go check it out. Not only do you have all the lake breakdowns that we covered on all these videos, but we've also got several other lakes out there now that I haven't had a chance to go out and do videos on yet, like Lake Whitney, like Lake Roberts. I updated a couple other lakes that are out there as well. I can't even remember, can't even think off the top of my head. But anyways, go check out the site, simplisticfishing.com. We got a lot of lakes out there, and we're continuing to add more each day. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. We're going Toledo Bend. We're going offshore. We're staying on the Texas side. I believe we stopped somewhere up around some intake or something like that. I don't know what it was, but we're going to figure it out, and we're going to keep going. Here we go. Toledo Bend, number 2. Here we go. Last time we were on Toledo Bend, we covered the southwestern side. So down here, we covered these two little coves or pockets, whatever you want to call them. We also covered down in here as well. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to start right here, right where that purple dot starts. Now you'll notice I don't have any icons down here, and that's not because we didn't break anything down there. It's because I've been breaking down a lot of additional lakes lately, and I need these extra waypoints. My phone's actually tapped out on waypoints. I have so many of them out there. So let's go ahead and just keep moving up. And we're going to start right here, as I mentioned in the intro, in this water intake at Beechwood. So just right here, the main thing I want you to look at right here is you've got a submerged bridge here. You've also got another one out here. The depth looks pretty decent here, about 30 feet where that submerged bridge is. So I could see a lot of, suspending fish and things like that. But as you're out there, come up here and check out this point as well. There's a roadbed right off the edge of the point. So check that out. And then if I was over here, I'd probably come over here and just swing over here and just see if there's anything up over here, because notice how it's a really sharp drop and you got kind of a nice little flat tabletop going on right in that area. So check that out. As we move further up, a couple more spots up in here, obviously right here, big flat that's over here, but you've got these nice little areas where you've got these sharp drops. So I would always look at those areas where you got the sharp drops. Those look really good. You've also got some kind of point over here. It says submerged point, but I'd really look more around in this area. Also up here, kind of the same thing. You've got this flat that comes out, and then you've got a pretty good drop that happens right in there. Let's see what that marker says. There's also a roadbed there as well. Can't tell what the marker says, but definitely check that out. With that roadbed being there, there's probably something on the top of that little point that comes out. As we swing around, just kind of pointing out the same kind of things, right? We're by this creek channel, points coming out, touching the creek channel. You know those are going to be good. Right here, you got a little bend. Down in here, you got a little bend as well. Down here, you got 2 different bridges that are down here too, 3 different bridges that are down here that you could check out. So lots of different stuff going on in this area. So definitely check out those waypoints that I pointed out to you there. As we move further up, notice how I'm just hitting basically the fingers of this huge flat that's out here. So you've got this long finger out here. This one looks really good. Nice little isolated little hump that's out here. Of course, it says I only have 15 days left on Navionics. Time to renew. Then we also have another one over here. Right here, you've got a really good ledge. Look at this one. This one looks really good. 18 feet all the way down to like 47 feet. So real sharp ledge on that one. And then over here off of this point, notice how you got these fish icons everywhere as well, because you just know they're good spots. You've got really sharp drops here and a really nice little like turn in that's happening right in that area as well. So really like all of those for sure. As we move further down, just kind of pointing out a few things for you. Another submerged bridge. This area right here where it kind of comes out to a little point right here and it touches the creek channel. Those are always great places to look. You guys have heard me talk about that a lot. Follow the creek channel, find out wherever it touches, and wherever it touches, that's where you want to be fishing for sure, somewhere in that area. So let's keep moving on down. As we move further down and kind of following that creek channel, the next thing we have is right here. We've got a little spot that comes off that kind of swings down. You've got a little spot right here. It looks like there must be a brush pile or something right in this area. So check that out right there. Also moving down here, you've got a little creek bed that makes a little swing here up against this dock. And this dock, it says, obviously there's a creek channel right beside it. So that is a money dock. So you definitely want to go fish that dock. I'm sure whoever owns that dock probably hates me, but go check out that dock. That one looks like a good one. Also, as we move further up in here, again, guys, there's going to be spots that I'm going to miss. This lake has tons of areas that look good, and this can be a challenge too when you're really trying to find stuff. So if you come across one of these points and you find some fish on them, definitely pay very close attention to what it is that they were attracted to. Is it a ledge that we put you on? Was it a creek swing? Was it a creek bend? What was it that we put you on, and then try to go match that exact thing up throughout the rest of the lake, because I might not have been able to mark all those spots for you. There's just so many on this lake. So as we move down here, the main thing is if you look off the edge of this island, a lot of times people go fish the back, but if you look and really pay attention to where the creek channel is, the creek channel comes on this side of the island, the back side. So you want to be fishing back around here. This is going to be more your primo spot to fish. Plus, you've got another creek bed that comes off here off the back side. So that all looks really good. Back in here, you've got a submerged bridge again. Not sure if those bridges are good on Toledo Bend, but they're good on pretty much all the other Texas lakes. So I can't see why they wouldn't be good here. You've also got a nice little swing going on right there too. So check out that little corner. As we move further up, another creek channel swing going up against it, hitting the bank line right there where that dock is. So that dock is going to be a really good dock to fish. You want to look at all these little turns. So anywhere you see these turns, they're coming up and hitting the bank. You want to look at those. You also want to look here where they're making these very sharp lines. So where I've got the mark here, this is going to be a really sharp drop. So you're going to be up on really shallow 6 foot, and then all of a sudden you're just going to dive to basically 24 foot pretty quickly. So you should be able to find some sort of a ridge or a ledge right in that area. Also over here, you got a pretty good flat point. I could see them setting up here really well too. You got a creek channel nearby. It just sets up really, really well. And it's a little bit closer towards the main creek arm. So definitely something you'd want to fish right there. So as we move further up in here, lots of stuff to look at. But again, I just kind of pointing out the high percentage areas. When we get up in here, this spot looked pretty good as well. Really good contours, how it comes in. Almost looks like it could be like a little ditch right in here. So definitely take a look at that spot. That spot could have some potential for sure. Over in here, you got the same type things. You kind of almost like a little point that comes out over here, a little flat top, 6 feet, and then a real sharp drop right there into some kind of a ditch or something. So you'll want to look at those. As we move further out, of course, just a main lake point, creek channels nearby. You can't go wrong there. As we move further up here, just a couple of things I wanted you to take a look at right in here. This is another one of those spots we looked at earlier where it's got the kind of flat top here, 12 foot, and then a real nice ridge right here on the side. So right here, really close to this dock. So definitely look at that. And then also look at this road bed that's over here as well when you're over here. So I'm going to move out, kind of show you guys where I'm at. I'm still working my way back into this main arm that's right here. So as we move on down, next thing we're going to find is this nice little point that comes out. You can fish the saddle right here, which is really close to that point, or you can come out and fish kind of the rest of the point, or what would be like a hump that's out here. On top of it could be good, and also out to the edge of it. So come out to the edge of it where that creek channel is. You might have some more success out there. As we move further down here, lots of different marks for fish icons that people put out here for navionics, but I just kind of went down and looked for the high percentage areas. Right here is going to be a really high percentage area. Again, you guys are probably seeing a pattern here. I'm looking to see where that creek channel comes up and slams up against the land, and where I can find that, that's going to be the spots that I'm going to fish the most. So right there, this one looks like a really good one too. So you could check that out while you're in that spot for the other one. As you move further down here, similar to what we saw here, you've got a little point that comes out, but it's got some saddles around it, a little hump out here, and then around this hump is all of that creek channel. So right in here, this whole area right here is going to be primo to be able to find something. So definitely go out there and look in that spot. That's one of the best looking spots that we've seen so far. Again, moving down here, we're just looking at these bends and swings and seeing what we can find. We got a good one there, got another good one here. If you look real closely here, this is actually like a little hump. So you got 13 feet around here, 14 feet, 20 feet, and you got 9 feet right here, 9 to 10 foot, and then a real good drop to 24 foot. So a real good ledge right there, right where I put that spot. Moving down, same type thing, another ledge right over here. And then let's see if I marked any more coming down here. I don't think I marked any more, but you'll want to look at all those guys. All of these in here. This is getting shallower water, 8, 9 foot, but still you're coming from 6 foot to like 12 foot right in there. That one actually has a little hump that's right beside it too. So all of these, just check out all the turns. Every time it turns, take a look at it. And it can be tedious, but I'm telling you, once you find them, you'll find a big group of them. It's going to be a heyday when you find them. All right, so I'm going to keep moving out, and then we're going to kind of go up and over. So here, got a nice little island that's out here, nice little flat that's up here up top. So you could check out the flat, or you could come out here right where it makes these turns and look right in there. That could be a really good spot. You got a nice little ledge we're going on right there as well. As we move further up here, again, paying attention to where this creek channel is. This one doesn't actually touch up, but it provides like a little nice shelf right here. So take a look right there. Also look out here off the edge of this big flat that's out there as well. And then as we move further back, we're just kind of paying attention again to that creek arm. Nice little hump that's here, a good hump that's here as well. As we move further up here, we got a good creek channel swing. Move further up here, we got a nice point. You can see here, it's with a real nice drop off in that area with the roadbed close by too, so that's always good. As we move further back, just kind of pointing these out for you. Got a nice little point here you can take a look at, and this one points out pretty good with some pretty good drops off to it as well. So really like that one. This one looks good as well. This one's juicy. Got the creek channel coming up against it, slapping right up against the point. Got a really good area right in there to fish. So this would be another primo spot to look at for sure. And then, of course, when you get down here by these bridges, you always want to fish by the bridges. You guys hear me talk about that all the time. Those are just prime spots to look for fish, especially if there's a creek channel coming through it. And this one's got a major creek channel coming right through the edge of it. And in fact, if you zoom in a little bit, there's a little bit of a hump right here at 12 feet. You can see it just barely. I'd fish right on the edges of that. Then obviously right here in the openings as well. Check out all of that. This should all be good for you guys. And then moving up here, kind of off the beaten path, but if you look here, we've got creek beds on both sides and a nice little flat point that comes out. So look at those, especially in the fall time. Those can be really good feeding areas for those fish to set up on. As we move further over here, we've got a little creek bed that comes in through here, kind of touches up on this side. I wouldn't call this like a primo spot, but you've definitely got a little bit of a ledge going on there with the creek channel beside it. As we move further out, work our way back out of here. Again, we talked about those turns. We talked about that little point earlier with the little flooded timber. Actually, this one might be a different one, but this one looks really good. Nice flat top, about 6-9 feet on top, and has some flooded timber around it. So really like that. Check out these little spots here anytime they touch. And then we got two different spots back here to look at. This little point here looks great. Creek swing coming right up against it. And then right here, a nice little submerged bridge. And this one's not as deep. This one's only like 17 feet. So those other ones we were looking at were, 25 to 30 feet. This one's not nearly as bad. Looks like you get back in, you've got two creek channels kind of coming together right there, that nice little intersection. So both those spots right there look really, really good to be able to fish. So we're going to keep moving back out. We talked about this middle stuff earlier, so I'm going to keep up here on this top side. Next thing we find would be out here. We've got a little point that comes out with a flat, little saddle in between. You can fish that little saddle. But really, it looks like your prime spot on the edge of this flat is going to be on this side, so where this creek bed is. So about right where I put that marker, and then just kind of follow it down and see what you can find right in that area. As we move further up here, lots of stuff going on in there. And again, I could have put 1,000 points out here for you guys. Again, I'm just trying to find the most juiciest looking spots. Right in here looks juicy to me as well. Got a nice point that comes out. Again, you got that saddle in the middle, but here you've got the creek bed winding around the side of it. So if they're not up here feeding on the top, also come over here to the sides and look over here on the sides as well. They're somewhere in that area more than likely. Also over here, you kind of got the same thing. Good point coming out here. Creek beds close by. All those things look really, really good. So I'm going to move on up here. I'm going to zoom out real quick, show you where I'm at. So we covered that whole main creek arm right there. Now we're going to come up and we're going to go through this one as well. So let's go ahead and keep zooming up and see what we can find. Next thing as we get up in here, a couple interesting spots right in here. I really like this right here. You got a creek bed coming through here, and then it comes up and it makes a real good swing right there against the bank line. You can see you've got 6 feet to 18 feet. So you got a good ridge going on right in that area. You've also got two little markers out here, which means these are probably hot spots for fishing because people have already marked them. So as we move further up here, got another hump that's out here with some pretty good ridges on it. Check that one out. It's only 8 feet. That one's not bad at all. Another little hump out here, 10 foot. These humps, man, when you get on that hump pattern, that can be fun. That's when you start catching the big fish. At least for me, when I get on that hump pattern, that's usually means I'm throwing Carolina rigs, things like that, and I'm having a good time and I'm catching giants. So keep moving on down here. I'm going to stay down this south side and then we'll work our way up to that north side. Next thing you see here, obviously following that creek channel, you're going to look at anywhere it touches. Right here is really good. You got a nice little turn, and then it straightens out right here and touches that point. Really like that. Good bend right there. And then another submerged culvert or submerged bridge right in this area, right around a bend too. And you got like a little hump right here. So you got, 8 feet or so right here, and then it drops down into this channel to about 18 feet. So that one looks really, really good as well. So I'm going to keep moving up. And we're going to go ahead and finish all the way out here outside of this pocket. We'll go up to, let's go up to that blue dot right there, and that's where we'll finish. So just kind of give you an idea so I don't lose you guys here on all the zooming and change that I'm doing. Got another island that's right in here. As we move further back and get back in here, got a couple spots I want to show you. One's right here. It's got a nice little road bed. So check out this road bed right in this area, kind of like this, how it's setting up, and that one's maybe not as obvious. Submerged bridge out here, obviously you want to check that out. And then as we move further up here, we've got, again, these nice bends and swings and stuff like that right here. Nice point that comes out. The creek channel comes right around it. That's probably going to be a harder area or something going on right in here. This looks like a really good spot. Also right over here by this dock looks good too. And then moving further up, we've got another, is that a bridge? It is. Another bridge that's over in here. And then off this point, again, guys, I'm paying attention to these creek channels, right? If the creek channels are close by, I'm watching them. I'm trying to see where, if anything, if they're doing anything special. And if they do something special, like make a big turn or swing up against the land, then I'm going to put a mark there more than likely. So right here, you kind of see the same thing. A good creek channel swing coming right up against the edge of that point. Moving on up. We're going to keep moving here. We've got a couple more spots for you. We got this nice little hump that comes out here. This one's about 9 to 10 feet at the top of it. I think it says 12, but it says 9 right there. But nice little spot right there. As I move further out, kind of getting out here into more of the open water, but you got these humps that are out here that are pretty much, halfway covered right here. Actually, this is just a big old flat, isn't it? But this little hump that's out here with a nice creek bed right around the edge of it. Got the same thing here. Little bend, nice little ledge here coming off the flat, almost like a ridge line. I guess that's exactly what it is. You could right in there. I mean, they'll set up there, and a lot of times, maybe not in that same spot, but set up on those ridges, and you can really have a lot of fun with those. Also over here, same type thing. Creek beds coming in, nice little flat that comes out, and then that's where your ridge is at. Over here, you kind of got the same thing. This creek bed is touching up against this point that's coming out. We come over here, we've got this island that's out here. It's kind of got a flat top here at 6 feet, but it drops down and has another little flat top at about 18 feet that's a lot closer to this creek channel. So I'm guessing right in here, but they could be all the way up here on that more shallow stuff. Moving here, you got a real good point. You can see this one's got a nice flat top that goes way out into the water and then breaks off close to a creek channel. As we move further up here, we'll just make sure I'm not getting lost here and not get down on the main lake. As we move further up here, we got another point here you could check out. These are 2 really good spots right in here. Also right here, got a creek bed coming up against it, swinging against it. The top of this thing's only 12 foot. Again, breaking out into like 30 foot of water. So really like that spot. And then if you're following that creek bed back, I'm going to pick this spot right here because you can just tell you got a really good ridge or something going on right there where that creek channel swing is. Man, I wish they still had that grass there. It almost makes me not even want to go if the grass is gone. All this stuff just says grass beds, but from my understanding, all the grass is gone, or the majority of the grass is gone. So as we move out here on this big old flat, if you'll come further out here, you'll find this little creek channel that's out here. And right here off the edge is where I think you're going to find the best spots. That's where you're going to get your best drops. and you're probably going to find the most activity. So right in here, right in this little area where I'm showing you right there, I think that's going to be your best bet. All right, so moving up here, got these little points that come off this flat. Check these out, definitely. All these little ridges. Notice they're getting really close to these creek channels. So definitely check those out. As you move further in here, you got some really big swings here. Like this is a real big bend. Check that one out. Road bed on top. Juicy stuff right there. Also right in here, nice little point to take a look at. And as I move further back there, I think it's mainly just all creek arms. Yeah. So we're going to pull out. We're going to move a little bit further up. I'm going to show you a couple spots in here. Again, just looking for ridges and things like that. This spot right here, and it was even marked with the fish icon, looks like a really good spot. Has a really good ledge right in there as well. And you got a pretty nice little flat top here that they could come up and feed on as well. As we move further over here, same type thing, real good ridges right in here. I mean, I could have marked every single one of these, right? Because you got another good one right here. Almost makes you think that creek bed probably comes down and swings down here and comes back up. And if it does, this right in here is going to be a good spot. It does the same thing right in here as well. That's why we put that mark there. So then pulling out of here, a couple spots in here to show you guys. There was so much here we could have marked. So again, just trying to mark some high percentage spots right here. Got a real good spot here and a real good spot right in here as well. I tell you, I would have a tough time fishing this lake because there's so many good spots to look. I mean, I'd spend probably hours and hours and hours just scanning because there's just so many cool things to scan here. But check all these out. I think this is really going to help you guys out. Probably put you on some fish, and then you can pattern my spots off of the that activity that you're seeing out on the water. So we got a couple more spots before we wrap up this video. Let's talk about these points right here. We got a nice little point here with a road bed on the top, creek channel nearby, and then we're getting into some deep water now, way out there. That's actually not even creek now. Now you're talking main riverbed. And then here, look at this ledge. Just a gorgeous looking ledge all the way up this whole side. So check a look at all of that if you're a ledge fisherman. And then back on the backside, you got a little bit of a saddle going on as well. You could take a look at that. You could look at that side. Also over here, we have that fish mark, a real good sharp drops all around that area. And then that'll take us up to this point. We're going to stop here at El Camino Bay. We'll stop right here off of this. It's another big flat with some flooded timber on it. If you go a little bit further out, you've got another little hump out here as well with some additional activity around it, creek beds and things like that. So anyways, guys, I hope that really helps you out. We're making our progress down on Toledo Bend. Look at that, man. We're about halfway up the western side already. So hope this is helping you guys out. Hope you're getting out there and catching some fish. Make sure you go out and check out our site, simplisticfishing.com. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do. It truly helps us out. Until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.